Potent Pondering back with another video. Yo, so Biden has officially stepped down as a Demo for running, for the Democratic Party for the president of the United States for the 2024 election. Now, I just actually got word that Kamala has made a statement in regards to, his endorsement of Kamala Harris for running in November. So I just want to read this to you. Kamala said, "I am honored to have the president's endorsement and my intention to earn and win the nomination. Over the past year, I have traveled across the country talking to Americans about the clear choice in the monumentous election, and that I will continue to do in days and weeks ahead. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump and his extreme Project 2025 agenda." Now, I just want to say this. They were saying, like, I was listening to a lot of different news outlets, and they were saying that no, I'm sorry, they were saying that Biden completely just came out with this information. He didn't notify anybody in his team. He let them know at 1:45, and that tweet went live at 1:46. So Biden came out and he said, I just want to get this just a little bit closer. So Biden came out and he said, "Over the past year and a half, we have made progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We provided critically needed care to million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African American woman in the Supreme Court, and passed most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. So I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together we overcame a once in a century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it's in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as a president for the remainder of my term." So, but a lot of, the Democratic lawmakers have been begging Joe Biden to step down. He said he will speak to the nation later this week in more detail for my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude for those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work, and let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust that you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. So listen, a lot of people are excited and they're happy that Kamala is now going to, is going to be running in November. And so then Biden stated, "After my fellow Democrats, I have decided to not accept the nomination and focus all of my energies on the duties as a president for the remainder of the term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it has been my best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement to Kamala to be the nominee for our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump, and let's do it." So listen, a lot of people feel as though that this is going to restore the stamina in the Democratic Party, because Biden at that when him and Trump had that debate, Biden looked, I want to say this right. I don't We all will age. A lot of y'all, I told you in my last video that I did on this. A lot of y'all have poor diets and you smoke and drink weed, you smoke and you drink, you smoke weed and you drink and you do. A lot of those things are going to have cognitive decline. It's going to make you decline as you get older. So I told people, stop laughing at Trump, because a lot of y'all will get older too, and how you treat yourself now is how you're going to be when you get older. So I don't think it's any joke when people I don't think it's funny when people make jokes about Biden's age or anything like that, because we're all going to age, right? We're all going to age, and certain things you just can't get around. But anyway, I believe that this is going to restore the stamina in the Democratic Party. Now, I need Kamala, honestly. She doesn't really have policies that are geared towards Black people. I need more of that. I'm just going to be frank with you. I've never voted Republican. I don't think I could bring myself to vote for Trump, but there are certain things that, I identify with him is like immigration. Yes, I think that needs to be controlled and handled. I do. But Trump made a statement as well. Let me just read this to y'all. Crooked Joe Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve and never was. He only attained the position of president by lies, fake news, and not leaving his basement. All those around him, including his doctor and the media, knew he wasn't capable of being president, and he wasn't. And now look at what he's done to our country with millions of people coming across our border, totally unchecked and unvetted, many prisons and mental institutions, and record number of terrorists. We will suffer greatly because of his presidency, but we will remedy this damage and has done very quickly. Make America great again. So that was Trump's words in regards to Biden. That was his response. Obama also made a response as well, and his response, is calling him very patriotic for stepping down and doing the right thing for America. He didn't mention Kamala. A lot of people were talking about that as well. I don't have his statement right here, so I'm not going to read that. But yeah, the Obama responded. Also, the Clintons, they also responded as well. Now, I want to know what you think about this. Does this make you feel better if you are if you are a representative of the Democratic Party? So, people were saying that, Biden was basically pushed out by the Democratic lawmakers. I think this was the best decision for this country, just to be, completely frank with you. So yeah. So they were talking about Trump, saying that Trump was spending a lot of his campaign money on the cases that he's been fighting. All them cases that the SA case, being sued and all of that. So Trump was spending a lot of his campaign money, and then you seen Eli, he stepped up, and they said, what did he say? He was going to give Trump $45 million, was every month or every 3 months? I don't know. I can't remember verbatim, but I know that Elon, I'm sorry, he's supposed to be donating to the Trump campaign. I believe that Trump is definitely going to attack Kamala on immigration policy. Let's see. But also, I don't believe that Trump, this was like kind of like a curveball. They were saying that they were counting on Biden to step down because they knew that Trump, I believe, this is my own belief. I think they knew that, especially with the stamina of Biden. I had a damn fly in my car. Hold on. Oh, I thought I had something in my car. My bad. I believe that, with the stamina and the showing of Trump in in the last debate, it just showed that, listen, that he wasn't, as swift and articulate. And he just, I felt as though that he didn't have the tenacity to deal with Trump's audacity, the audacity of some of the lies that he was just telling, like, in that debate, he was unable to break it down. And that's troubling. And I think that made a lot of Americans and Democrats, I think it worried a lot of us. It worried me, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I don't think the Trump administration or his team, they were not ready for this curveball. Now it's gonna be interesting to see Kamala's it's gonna be interesting to see, her strength going up against Trump in debating. And then listen, there's nearly what, 100 something days until election time in November. And then also, the Democratic convention is coming up within the month of August. So everything is just so quick. Kamala is gonna have to pivot really, really hard and really quick, you know? Yeah, so they were not ready for that. I'm looking through some notes that I made in here. All right. So yeah, a lot of people, Americans, were concerned. When Biden was just diagnosed with COVID, he disappeared for a few days and wasn't saying anything, and that made a lot of people concerned. And they said that he was at his beach house in Delaware as well. But yeah, man, I'm just going through my notes. So yeah, poll by voter said they hold Kamala to the same accounts as Biden. So there were some polls that were taken, and they were saying that they hold Kamala to the same accounts as Biden, and they weren't really interested, you know, in her based on immigration and the war in Gaza. So listen, I think that Kamala she has the opportunity to pivot and restore a lot of the energy in this in the Democratic Party. Yeah. So another thing, like again, I can't stress it enough on the ageism thing where they talking about Biden. It's like we all, of course, everybody ages differently, but listen, anything you do in the now is going to show up in the later. Be careful how you speak on the elderly. That's all I'm going to say in regards to that. Be careful how you speak on the elderly. Just be careful of that. Um, yeah. Mm-hmm. So Kamala had, yep. So, as I was making my notes as well, it was like, from hearing from different news outlets, they were saying that, Kamala, she was pretty much blindsided by this whole matter. Like, I'm pretty sure, listen, they could say that he told nobody until XYZ, but I'm pretty sure, Biden and Kamala, they had to know something, in my own personal opinion. But all in all, I think that this was a patriotic decision, from Biden. I think that he knows that a lot of people were concerned about his performance in that last debate, and we deserve better. If Biden is reaching age where he's not able to campaign and debate fully at his highest, then I think it's the best for him to step down and let somebody else run for office that can have that strength and have that tenacity and be able to go against Trump and hopefully win. So listen, I'm excited. I have to do some more digging on Kamala. I'm not really into politics 1,000%, but I listen to it more on a surface level. But I need to do some digging in her because they was like, Trump is definitely going to attack her over some prior comments and statements that she's made. So I need to look into see what those statements were and if they were, you know, uh, if they were against the black community or whatever, because they say Kamala is Indian, and she does a lot of that talk of HBCUs and everything. But to me, shout out to everybody who went to a HBCU, but that's not everything when it comes to black people. Like we need policies that support and also protect black people on a larger scale. So anyway, I just wanted to come and do a video. So yeah, Biden has stepped down. Step aside. No. Yeah, he stepped down. And listen, I'm happy for Biden. They said that he didn't want to ruin his legacy and that this was the best decision that he could make. And I agree full-heartedly 100%. So listen, potent pondering, never pandering. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think about this whole ordeal. Are you excited for Kamala? Are you against Kamala? Are you for Trump? I don't really care who you support. This is not really about that. But yeah, I don't think I could vote for Trump though, just to be honest with you. I just don't think I can, even though I identify. I don't think I could do it. I don't. So listen, potent pondering. I'm up out of here. Leave your comments below, subscribe, and thumbs up the video. All of that. Peace.